It's crystal amethyst.
Mm-hmm. Crystal amethyst. What else do you notice? Begin to notice everything around you. What is so beautiful? What is this place?
I hear home, but I don't know.
All right, I don't want you to analyze it. Let's explore this place and find out what else is here. Let's begin to walk around and notice as you're walking around if you have a body in this place. What do you notice first?
I notice being a woman, but then she's kind of like the bottom part, or her legs like are disappearing, like she's etheric.
Are you dressed in any particular way?
It's like white but translucent, like with like and it's kind of coming in and out.
So I want you to just hone in on the feeling of this place.
Makes me happy.
And as you continue to look around, what else do you see there? Is it all crystal amethyst?
I see animals.
You see animals. What kind of animals do you see?
Rabbits.
Rabbits. Are you indoors or outdoors?
Indoors. Not exactly sure if it's a cave. I'm just feeling like just awestruck by this like amethyst crystal walls.
Are these walls smooth or rough?
No, they're rough. It's like crystal points. Like a geode, like I'm inside of a geode or something.
Very good. Can you walk around this place?
Yeah.
All right, take me with you. Let's explore and see what else you find. What do you notice next?
Hearing voices. Don't go. Don't go.
Whose voices are those?
I'm hearing you don't belong here. You don't belong here.
Ask who the voices belong to.
Who do you belong to? They're saying we're your protectors, but they're not. We watch out for you.
But you know the truth?
Because I just feel like happy in there.
So why do you imagine they're protecting you from being happy?
I don't think they want me to know something.
So what decision do you make next?
Go away. It's time for me to know.
All right. I'm here with you today, and we're going to explore together. I'll be right next to you.
Thank you.
So tell me, what do you see next? What is this place?
It's like a crystal cave. So beautiful. My God.
Are there any other colors that you see?
It's like the amethyst is turning clear. Clear.
Keep going. The more you talk, the more you'll see.
Okay. It's like I'm walking forward and I'm having a hard time visualizing.
Just know it then. Just feel it.
Okay. Yeah, I gotta work through that.
Just feel it.
I feel like I'm coming towards like a gold door. Like a gold door, and there's like a handle, like a door handle. And it has like blue sapphires like all over the door handle.
How do you open this door?
I could turn it. So I'm scared.
Do you feel that you've been across this door before?
I think it's the door to the Akashic records, maybe.
Let's find out. Let's not assume. Let's open that door and see what's there.
Yeah.
What happens next? What do you experience?
It's so big.
What do you notice? What's the first thing you noticed?
It's so beautiful. It's so big. I've been here before. I don't always believe it, but I've been here before. And then on the ceiling, like I look up and there's like a gazillion stars. I want to go back.
What do you notice more? Look around you.
There's books everywhere. Everywhere.
And is there anyone there with you, or are you by yourself?
I believe there's somebody in my room, in this room. I believe so.
What do you imagine their role is?
They're in charge of my books.
Okay. So let's find out who that is. And let's find your book.
I have to trust myself. I have to trust myself.
That's right.
Yeah, he's an Asian man with a Chinese, like a beard. He's Asian.
What does he tell you?
He's the protector of my books, of my stories.
Yes. Does he seem familiar?
He just...
He's what?
He's so like honoring, like. I don't know why I don't feel worthy, but like he's mistaken or something.
Ask him. Ask him why you feel that way.
He tells me these are all books on your lifetimes and your stories and your adventures. And I said, but I don't remember. I don't remember. This is why I remember.
He's the keeper of it. Yes. So can he help you today to remember?
I need help remembering. I need help remembering.
Ask him to find the book that will help you remember the most important part right now.
Could you help me? Can you help me find the book that I need?
Tell me what he does next.
He goes, I'll be right back. And he goes down a spiral staircase. It's gold. To find a really, really old book. I think he's saying that the book is, it's the original me. It's the me before I had all these stories.
That's a beautiful gift.
Yeah, he says, but it's okay because, he's like, you don't need all these stories. The original of you is so special. So old. So wise.
Are you ready to see that book now?
He said, you might not remember, but it doesn't make it less real. He's like, we remember.
Mm-hmm.
We remember.
Wonderful. Let's find out a little bit more about that.
I said, who's we?
Mm-hmm.
Who's we? And he says, all the beings that follow you and watch you. There's so many beings that watch you, that have been watching you.
Why are they watching you?
They're learning from me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm such an important teacher.
Wonderful.
That I do things that's very rare.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to believe him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So would he open that book for you so we can see? How does that book get opened?
Okay. He's going to take me to this special chair, and it's red, like red velvet chair with like gold painted. It's very big.
Mm-hmm.
This beautiful desk. He's going to bring me the book.
Very good. What does it look like, this book?
It's brown. It's old. It's brown leather with gold painted pages. It's thick. And it's written in a language I don't know what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, you don't have to read it. You just have to experience it and know it. It's your life.
He said all I have to do is put my fingers across the words and I'll know.
All right. Are you ready to do that now?
Okay.
Go ahead and tell me what happens. Where are you?
I'm still there. I'm still not trusting.
Mm-hmm. What does he say to you?
This is before Earth.
Mm-hmm. Would he like me to assist you?
Yeah, he's confused.
All right.
He doesn't know why I'm so not able to receive.
All right. So what we're going to do is I want you to keep that hand on that book. And I want
Both hands are on the book.
All right. So I want you to just use all of your imagination. I want you to ride my voice into that book, into the memory of that book. I'm going to count from 5 to 1. With each number, I want you to just to release and let go of any expectations as you begin to go back in time, riding the vibration and frequency of my voice to get you to that moment in time. When I get to number 1, I'll tap your third eye so you can open it up and see. Begin now by taking a deep breath in. 5. Moving through time and space. 4. Drifting and floating. Floating and drifting. 3. Back in time. 2. Allowing the images to come now. And 1. Be at that memory. In this memory, are you indoors or outdoors? What comes to your mind first?
Like glass buildings.
Glass buildings, very good. How big are these buildings?
Really big. They're all glass.
Mm-hmm. Can you see through them?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What shape are these buildings in?
Like different, like tall, but they have like a very modern. There's a meaning to their shapes. I'm not. It's very, very contemporary. Like I feel like I'm in the future, but my mind says I should be in the past.
That's okay.
So I'm short-circuiting a little.
Let go of that having to be right. Just describe. Just describe. Just analyze and report back.
It's beautiful. Like, it's like I could see. It's like I've seen like glass sculptures, like where they're like glass, and it's like looks like a Rubik's cube kind of that was taken apart, and there's like some like opalescent colors, like glass where you like look in it.
Can you see through it?
I'm trying to not resist. It's as if there's this part of me that's like, no, it's not time to remember. But then I want to remember it's time. I wouldn't be here.
So I just want you to report back on what you see. I don't want you to think.
Okay. So I see these crystal buildings, crystal walls where you could see through, but they're opalescent and beautiful. Just so beautiful.
And from where are you?
Like a crystal city.
A crystal city.
But not crystal like the Amethyst, like where it was like inside a geode. These are like, it's like crystal, different crystal glass.
And do you see anything around the crystal, like any type of nature? Or is it just the crystals?
Oh, now that you said that, I see trees and grass. But it's like a crystal city, like contemporary.
Beautiful. And from what angle are you looking at this city?
I'm on the ground. Yeah, I'm on the ground and I'm looking up, kind of like New York City, except New York City isn't crystal and beautiful, but big buildings.
Okay. So as you're walking through this city, look down and see if you have a body there. What do you notice first?
I'm that baby blue person again.
So describe to me what that...
Tall and thin. Yeah, it's like the blue people.
Okay.
I love them.
And can you describe what you look like?
I love them.
What is this blue person?
Very tall and thin and somewhat etheric, like I could tell that they have like a body sort of like, but not like as dense as a human body.
Are the limbs long too?
Yeah.
What about the fingers and the feet? What do they look like?
Yeah, long and lean. No wonder I like tall people. I like tall, like long, lean, long fingers.
What does your face look like there?
My face.
What do you notice?
Oh. The eyes, I think these might be the Arcturians, but it doesn't matter, I guess. Like sacred geometry in the eyes. Such a nice energy.
What color are those eyes?
Blue, green, but like you could see shapes. Like I see, like the shapes are spinning in the eyes. Beautiful.
Do you have a gender in that body?
Do I have a gender? I'm not sure.
Okay. So let's see where it is that you go to in this city. Do you have a place that you call home or work?
Oh, I heard that I need to go to the town hall.
All right, let's go there. Describe to me what the town hall looks like.
Ooh, big.
Mm-hmm. Is it also glass?
I think it's like the UN, like the United Nations or something of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
Crystal, big.
Let's go inside and see what's happening there today.
Oh, interesting. So now, yes, it's like some type of galactic council. Maybe it's the Galactic Center.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel it. Oh, it feels good. It feels good. It feels good.
Mm-hmm.
It feels good.
How many are there with you? Look around.
I'm female.
Mm-hmm.
I'm female, I feel. Yeah, female. And there's a lot of beings, like different kinds of beings I'm seeing. Even like little dog, like I think they are dogs or something, but that's like alien dogs or something. I don't know. But why would they be in the building? I don't know.
And what is the purpose of this meeting today?
Oh, there's problems.
Mm-hmm.
There's big problems in the universe.
So why have you assembled here today? How do you resolve these problems?
Everyone's waving at me, so they know me.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm feeling. Like they're like, oh, look at you, hi.
Mm-hmm. What role do you play in this place?
What role do I play? What role do I play? I just heard, why are you asking that?
Mm-hmm.
How do you not know who you are? I don't know why I don't know who I am.
See yourself doing what you do there.
I think I'm supposed to speak at a podium.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens.
Oh my God.
What happens next?
I don't know his name, but there's a man there. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
He is so beautiful. So beautiful. Oh my God. I don't know why I don't remember, but I know he's like the man who loves me, not my father. It's not my father. It's like a love interest.
Mm-hmm.
And he's big. He's beautiful, and he looks at me like as if like his whole face is beaming to see me.
How do you feel about him?
I love him.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
Feel his energy. Recognize it. Imprint it in your soul.
Oh my God.
Take what you need from his love now.
I mean, this is how it's supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this is how it's supposed to be. This is real.
Mm-hmm.
What I've been experiencing isn't real.
What does he want to remind you of today?
Oh, he can't wait to hear what I'm going to report.
Mm-hmm.
He missed me. Misses me.
Mm-hmm.
Misses me. He's so impressed with me. I guess I'm not used to that.
Mm-hmm. Feel his energy. Feel that adoration.
It's funny. It's like he has this like kind of constitution like The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like that actor, The Rock.
Mm-hmm.
But he's taller and he's just so big and so impressive and so...
Does he look like you?
No.
He's a different type of being.
I think, yes, he's a different race of being. Like, he's galactic. I think he's blue too, but he's not me. I think right now, I'm just hearing that I'm Syrian. He's not Syrian.
Good. So let's see what it is that you need to say to the others. What happens next?
Oh, he said he can't wait to be alone with me. How novel. Okay. It's like I have a lot of friends. Not sure why I can't remember. It's like I feel like a stranger there. But I have a lot of friends. I'm very well respected in this space. I feel very good there, but I'm struggling to be there.
So I'd like for you to go ahead and ask why all of the struggle.
Why am I having so much struggle? Because the way that I have it set up now, I guess, is that I can't remember on Earth. Like, I can't remember. There's a reason why I can't remember this being that I am in this other place. So I'm just struggling, like as if I'm having a hangover. You know, like that. I'm having struggle, like entering into that consciousness to remember. I'm not used to being allowed to remember that woman there. Like that I have this knowing of her, but I don't remember her like in my heart. I believe.
So let's find out when
But she feels much better than Carrie.
Good. So let's find out when it happened that this being chose to not remember. I'm going to count from 3 back to 1, and let's find out when that decision was made. Take a deep breath in, breathe, going through time and space to find out when this veil of forgetfulness was put on you. 2 and 1. Be there now. Where are you?
I'm in a lab. I believe there's something about goodness gracious. Okay.
I don't want you to analyze it. Just tell me what's happening.
Okay. It's like there's some kind of spaceship, I believe, or okay. I just got to get out of my head.
Just report back. Just report your surroundings.
Okay, so the surroundings are very high tech. They're like glass, like everything's computerized. Oh, sorry, I have like an itch. Like it's computerized screens, all technical. It's like here's where I know everything. Like everything is there. I'm just so aware and so confident and so well-knowing, I believe.
And what is your role on that ship?
No, I'm not on the ship.
Oh.
Maybe I am on the... I'm not really sure, actually.
So zoom out
a little confused.
Bit. Zoom out. You know how to do that. Just zoom out and see what this place is. Is it on a physical place or in a ship?
Oh, okay. So I'm, so I'm not in this like UN type building anymore. Maybe I am on a ship.
Do you have the same body?
Not sure.
Okay.
I'm really not sure. It's like I'm overwhelmed.
So just take one at a time. What is this place?
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of information I feel like very mixed up right now.
Mm-hmm. So just take one piece of information at a time. Pick the one.
I could be the captain of this ship, and they're showing me some things, some coordinates, maybe going to Earth. So weird. But anyway, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure, but I believe it seems like I'm in charge and everyone's like working under me because that's what it seems like.
Okay. So I want you to just go into your knowing. I want you to get out of your head and go into your knowing and speak from that part deep inside that just knows.
Oh, God.
What is this place and where are you going?
I see somebody I know. This is my ship. These people work under me. I don't know why I moved to this place, but I did. I see my acupuncturist that in this lifetime, but he's like works on the ship, and I've seen him there on the ship before. Now I see him again. He's my friend, my good friend.
What else do you see?
There's a lot of details and intelligence. It's like everywhere, but it's directing me to Earth. But in this human form, I don't have any recall of it at all. It's amazing. Really, it's like really weird.
So I don't want you to analyze it. Just go deep again into your knowing. And let's find out what decisions are made regarding Earth. What's happening with Earth that you're going towards?
It just like shows everything. Oh, God, I'm having some trouble.
Well, the more you talk, the more I'll be able to help you.
Okay.
What's the first thing you notice?
I can access any part of Earth on a screen in a second. There's a lot that's going on Earth. There's a lot of beings that are been strategically placed all over the planet that are giving intelligence. It's as if they're receiving intelligence and sending it to some home base. And I have access to that, as much as I find it hard to believe. And
what kind of beings are these that are put there?
They're galactic beings. They're volunteers that came to the Galactic Center. So I was there, I guess, to speak about what's going on Earth, but now I'm on the ship with all this intelligence.
And what do you do with this information?
What do I need?
What is your...
Okay, so there's something about this moment. It's like saying to me, okay, 1 second.
Just talk it out.
Okay, so I'm hearing something or someone, maybe I don't know, saying to me, this is why you have to experience things, because you're seeing something and you don't believe it because you're seeing it. And so we're showing you yourself, we're showing you in the Galactic Center, we're showing you your true beloved, and yet you're still resisting. So we're showing you why you just can't receive information, because you're resisting, even though we're showing it to you, and this is the truth of what's going on. And I'm an extremely high-level person. Whatever's going on with this earthbound person, that I am a host, I don't even know what the word is. It doesn't matter, that person as that person, but that in my real consciousness, I'm an extraordinarily high-level being that knows a lot and is connected to a lot, and that's okay. That doesn't take away from anybody else.
Mm-hmm. So why is it that this life in which this galactic high-level officer is living here is Carrie? Why is it so difficult? Why has it been so difficult?
Why has it been so difficult?
Has it been set up like that?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Who set it up? She thinks it's external forces.
There's a lot of beings undercover. She's undercover, the beings are undercover. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of beings that are pretending to be everyday people. Mm-hmm. But they're not everyday people. Something else that's coming through that's very clear, and she says it, but yet in this moment she is resisting it. Mm-hmm. That there, she knows that there's a tremendous amount of AI intelligence and technology, but yet in this moment she's resisting it. Mm-hmm. She's resisting it. She's resisting. She's resisting. She knows that the artificial intelligence is what's been, causing a lot of chaos and yes, mm-hmm. Okay, this, yes, the future,
mm-hmm.
future.
Tell me what it is that you're yesing.
Yes, the future.
What about the future?
It's all about the future.
Mm-hmm.
That she's in the past, living out as this person named Carrie, Caroline, this, mm-hmm. lovely woman, mm-hmm. but that it's this ordinary being. She's trying to show there's something about that, these ordinary beings are the ones that are really making the biggest impact, that she lives in a world where there's a sensationalization around celebrities, athletes, people that are projected as, quote, heroes. She's funny.
Mm-hmm.
She loves to talk about the heroes, but yet she continues to pretend she isn't one. Mm-hmm. Okay, that's okay. She's humble. So that's fine. So she is trying to let her know that it's in the everyday people, it's in the lay people. It's not in those that are big or larger than life that are the ones to worry about. It's about the everyday people where it's in the everyday people. It's in the everyday people that you need to become aware of. It's in the everyday people that are making the greatest impact. It's in the everyday people that are causing the most chaos.
Mm-hmm.
It's not in the ones that are all knowing and all seen, the ones that are of celebrity, the ones that have status. Those people, yes, those are red herrings to the process.
Mm-hmm. Why were they put there?
To trick, yes. They're informed that these beings with high status and high visibility are the ones that should be focused on, but that's not the case. She is someone who reads between the lines. She knows that. She sees in between. She sees what's unseen in the scene, because it's in these everyday beings and these everyday experiences that's making the greatest impact. Mm. And what's in the not seen, underground.
Is that why she calls herself a whistleblower? She's able to see?
Oh, she needs to blow more whistles.
Mm-hmm. Tell her about that.
Yeah, okay.
Why is she so afraid?
She has seen so much devastation. She has seen so much hurt. She has seen so much loss. She feels so immensely. She feels in a way that most people don't feel. And then she gets distorted into thinking that it's her, or, sometimes those feelings are what's holding her back. Mm-hmm. It's what's holding her back. What's holding her back. Excuse me. Okay, so Okay.
Are these feelings coming from her or from others?
From others. From others. And then she thinks they're hers, and she just wants to protect. She has suffered so greatly. She has suffered so immensely in so many lifetimes. The pain, the sadness, the darkness, it's the distortion, the beings that have no concern or care or recognition of the whole. They just care about themselves. These beings, also considered celebrities, those narcissistic beings. People think that they have the power, but they don't have the power. It's a trick.
Does she have the power?
So she has this enormous power, but she had to pretend she had no power. Yes, she has to learn. She has enormous power, but then she thinks she has no power. And then, oh God, scrambling. It's just scrambling.
Why so much pretending? What is she hiding?
So much pretending. She doesn't want anybody to know who she really is. Then she doesn't want to be better than anybody else, because then she thinks that if her light shines brighter, then she's going to then people will feel badly and not feel good enough.
Is that true?
Well, in the third dimensional reality that she lives in, it's true. People are very competitive. They're very jealous. They're very insecure. You know, she read a line this morning that said if there was only one bright star in the sky, it would be very boring. But it's just a distortion. She's been so harmed. She's been so hurt. She's been this child that lives within her. Her children have been so harmed. They've been so harmed. Her inner child, this inner child has been so harmed. God.
Does she choose to have all of these experiences on a different level?
She chooses so much because she knows she can handle much. You know, before they come to this planet Earth that she so says, you know, with all this technology and all this understanding and all this love and all this connection, you know, to come to a planet that has none of that is just very... I want to say the word frustrating, but that's not the word I'm looking for. It's confusing. She comes with this knowing and this understanding, and yet there's this non-compliance there on Earth. Even her significant other is in, quote, non-compliance. She just can't seem to find unity, partnership. She can't community. There's so many problems on Earth. There's so many broken systems. There's so many broken systems. This is the lifetime that it has to matter. It's failed so many times before now. That's why she's volunteered.
Why has she volunteered?
She has a wisdom. She has a knowing. She knows how people think and tick. She understands the psychology of people. She understands how grass grows, trees plant. She has an awareness like the greatest shaman there is. She watches everything and sees everything and then proceeds to pretend she doesn't.
How is that hurting her? This pretending?
Because she couldn't know. Before now, she couldn't know.
Mm-hmm.
She couldn't afford to be captured. She couldn't afford to... There's many, like, messages going on at once.
Mm-hmm.
Like...
So you could slow them down.
Okay.
She couldn't afford to be captured. By whom?
The Dracos.
Mm-hmm. Were they after her?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. For what reason?
Because they know she has the information that they need.
Mm-hmm. Have they been successful in capturing her?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And what's happened?
It's not about going backwards. It's about going forwards right now. And, you know, she has this... It's like she has to make manifest what she knows.
Okay.
Like, she just has to. Like, there's been horrific events that she has seen, experienced fragmentations of herself. She has seen the cruelest of cruel. She has seen the darkest that humanity can present itself with.
And now?
And she knows she can do something about it.
Mm-hmm. Is she at a crossroads right now? Now that she has this information.
I think the whole planet's at a crossroads.
Okay.
Things have to change. And she has to, God.
Is she changing with it?
The caterpillar can't continue to be a caterpillar after it's a butterfly. Mm-hmm. She's a magnificent butterfly, rare and has colors that have never been seen on your planet. Mm-hmm. Why she's continuing to be a caterpillar, that has to stop. She is a butterfly. She is rare. She has enormous wings. Mm-hmm. She can fly. She can fly.
So by flying, how is that going to help the Earth? What will this butterfly be doing?
Every time she does something that no one else has done, it changes the vibration and the frequency on the planet. She is the living proof in every chosen moment that things can be different. Mm-hmm. She is the living proof that love can exist even in the most traumatic of circumstances. She is the living proof of courage, of bravery, of all-knowing, without any knowing.
Mm-hmm. But yet she's afraid to move forward.
Why is that?
She knows things, yet she won't speak of them. She knows how to do things, yet she won't work with it.
She needs a download. She needs an updated program.
Mm-hmm.
It's like one part of her wants to move forward, and then the other part is like, stay hidden. Mm-hmm. It's not time yet, but it is time.
So are we able to upgrade that version today? Can we download that?
We must.
All right.
We must. She must get an upgrade. She must get an upgrade. She's all over the place. Nothing. It's like an old computer and a new computer next to each other, and they're not speaking clearly.
Mm-hmm. All right. How would you like to do the upgrade today? Will you be doing it with a frequency, with a light? How can she allow herself to be
light on the top of her head?
Okay.
An indigo light on the top of her skull that radiates down into both sides of her brain.
All right. So let's begin now with the download. So I'd like to get assistance from those who work with her. And let's bring them in so that we could do this download.
Yes.
And describe to me what's happening. What is this indigo light doing?
It's beaming on the top of her head.
Mm-hmm.
and it needs to fill up her entire being.
All right. So as this is being done, would you describe to me so that she can have this recorded? Get her out of the way.
Yes, let's get her out of the way.
Mm-hmm. So I'd like for her to go ahead and sink deeper into that pool.
Yeah.
I want you to keep diving in deeper and deeper.
Yeah, diving deeper and deeper, deeper.
Mm-hmm. Begin to see the darkness within as you dive deeper and deeper, allowing your conscious mind to go down deeper as we dive into the abyss, letting go deeper. Deeper.
Much of what's happening here is she has to trust the process. Things are happening the way that things are happening in the timing in which they're happening.
Mm-hmm.
And like you shared with her, Alba, thank you, Alba.
Mm-hmm.
Alba.
Yes.
Because she's so old, because there is so much damage, it's like as if the oldest, most ancient shaman needs to integrate with, or something, with the most state-of-the-art, highest technology. Mm-hmm. And that those both aspects, those like extreme polarities, need to merge together and come into one and not be separated anymore.
Mm-hmm. Very good.
Yes, it's been separated for too long.
Tell me how that upgrade is doing.
She also needs to realize something. You know, she is so precious. She is so precious because she has been around people that have been so grandiose, so self-important. She is just so frightened to become self-important. But she needs to realize that in her self-importance, in her wholeness, in her worthiness, in her owning of herself and her extraordinariness, I mean, that's the only way the world is going to change. Mm-hmm. It's just the only way. She cannot continue to pretend that she's just non-existent, or, you know, that she cannot stay hidden. Mm-hmm. She cannot stay hidden. And then when she owns her wholeness, her children will do the same.
Mm-hmm. So it'll just allow them to let go of their pretending too?
Yes, there's something about her, but there's also something about the feminine humanity. Mm-hmm. Women feel like they haven't been able to re-embody into their greatness. Mm-hmm. Women as a whole, you know, women need to rise, and women actually, there's this part of me that wants to say women and men are supposed to be equal, but not in this case. Right now, the women need to be accelerated above the men in order to polarize downward. Like she is very aware when she learned assertiveness management, you know, you become one polarity to another polarity in an extreme. Mm-hmm. So basically we are asking her, or she's holding the consciousness of, you know, someone who's played so small, so inadequate, so hidden. And then we're basically demanding that she become enormous, powerful, extraordinary, the polar opposite of what she's been living in for so long. Mm-hmm. So we understand that, but that's what has to happen. There has to be an extreme. The divine feminine needs to rise, and they need to advance over men. But advancing over men doesn't mean, because she's been so wounded by women, she's seen many women dominate men. And this is a distortion, and she needs to come into balance with that distortion. She needs to come into balance with that distortion. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. That women, the right woman, the healthy woman, the divine feminine, not the wounded feminine. There's a difference. There's a divine masculine. There's a wounded masculine. There's a divine feminine. There's a wounded feminine. And then there's the divine human and the wounded human. And what needs to happen now and over the next period of time is that the women need to own themselves and their extraordinariness, even if the voices or outside energies say, oh, that's dominating men, or that it's a diabolical, she uses the word diabolical, a diabolical measure in order to harm men. But no, the woman needs to rise. You know, the expression, when mama's happy, everybody's happy, but she needs to rise. Women need to rise. They need to let down their maiden suit. Yes, kind of like Cinderella in the moment where the fairy godmother takes her wand and takes this young girl in her rags and turns her into this beautiful princess. That's what she and women just like her needs to happen. And it needs to happen even if it seems extreme, because it will balance out. It will balance out. But right now, the women have to be at the scale bigger than the patriarchy, the men, the masculine. And those masculine are aware that does need to happen. It happened way back when, and it was lost. It was lost. The women were honored. They were valued. They were recognized. They were adored. And great healing came to the world. And that's what happens in so many other galaxies. Yes. There's so many. So that needs to happen. People need to walk around in their Cinderella dresses and their essence all the time, even though that's very unusual for them. And that doesn't mean they have a big ego or that they are wounded. They are not. They are divine.
Beautiful.
Yes.
But talking about Cinderella and the magic wand, she has felt as if she's under a spell. What is this all about, this imposter syndrome that she feels? Is that what we're talking about?
Yes.
That she's been hiding?
Yes. She gets bombarded every day with negative, she gets bombarded. Oh, God.
What are these energies she's bombarded with?
They're just trickster. They're like parasitic. They're just parasitic energies that are constantly attacking her and constantly confusing her and constantly spinning her. And she just needs, like the wings, like an airplane, rise above it. You know, in a storm, an airplane, what does it need to do? It needs to rise above the clouds in the storm. So she needs to take those beautiful wings that she has, that she pretends that she doesn't, but she knows she has. She needs, it's time. She needs to take those wings and not feel bad about it. And she needs to pull them out and use them and fly above this toxic energy, this negative. And even if she has to blow it away. She has to will it away. They're just bothering her. You know, ascension is very challenging. This ascension is very challenging. The darkness, this level of darkness has never been to this level of exposure. She knows it. She knows this. We know this. The few that are in charge of this knows. I mean, this is end game times. These are very challenging. And she needs to rise above this.
Okay, can you tell me about this end game, this ascension? How is she going to be a part of this? Why is she?
Oh, she's a huge part of this. She doesn't.
Tell her about that.
So she's one of the original souls. She was a draconian hybrid geneticist. She knows this, but then she pretends she doesn't. But it doesn't really matter what she was. That's in the past. This is now. This is, the past has to go. The past has to go. Whatever she was, whatever she wasn't. You know, right in this moment, she remembers being animals, or she remembers being a rock, but she's not a rock now. She's not an animal now. She's a person. She has a voice. Her voice has impact. Every word she says is coded. Every person that she comes in contact with, whether they like it or not, is affected by her energy, affected by her presence. It does not help if she clenches her energy and keeps it small, especially during these times. These are very, very, very challenging times. And she is very frustrated for good reason. It would be easy for us to say, it would be very easy for us to say, oh, the light has won. The light has won. It's all, don't worry about the dark. But the dark, whatever that is, and whatever manifestation of the dark, it can manifest in all different ways. There's all different manifestations of the dark. Okay? The dark must rise and they must go. They have no power anymore. They have no power anymore in all the ways that they may have before.
Do they have any power over her?
She thinks they do. She thinks they do. She's so worried about her children. She's so worried about her loved ones. She has seen such tragic harm. She has seen people suffer. Her heart, her essence is, she's so loving. She's so loving. She's so loving, and yet she's so frustrated. She's like stuck in it's like, I'll hear her say that the opposite of love, like when people say the opposite of love is hate, no, it isn't. Love and hate are of the same vibration, of the same frequency. Love and hate is the same. Apathy is opposite. Indifference is opposite. Nothingness is opposite. So she knows that. She knows that. And she is far more significant, far more powerful than these beings that are messing with her. She's just tired. She's tired, and because of the way that she set up this path and the way that this path has been set up for her, which we cannot release now because it's part of the path. You cannot, She must create from not knowing. She must create from her heart. She must create from, no matter what is going on around her, she must create from the heart. She must create what she believes. She must.
Where is she dwelling in right now instead of her heart?
Is she in her mind?
Too much in her mind. She's so wise. She's so wise. She's so wise. She's so wise. Yes. Part of this dynamic that's been at play all this time is that there's been this inverted reality. It's like learning through opposites, learning through opposites within ourselves, not within herself, within others too. Learning through inversion. So she thinks she doesn't like the beach, but meanwhile she comes from the ocean. Okay. And one of the things that she needs to work on is seeing that these extreme inversions have been for a greater good, but it's not the greater good in this moment. Things have been blocked. Things have not been revealed in order for her to reveal and know what she does know. She's resisting me. She's She is resisting, but...
All right, I'd like Carrie's conscious mind just dive deeper into that pool. Dive deeper. Let's find out about these blockages, about why things are falling apart in her world at this time.
Because her world manifests the world outside. The world outside is falling apart, but she doesn't see that as falling apart. She sees her world as falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
Which in some ways it is. And that is okay. Because it needs to fall apart. The old ways are over and done. Okay, they served her as much as they could serve her. God bless her, God bless her, God bless her.
So now that she is having her world fall apart, what is the best advice to give her?
She needs to let it fall apart.
Okay. So
you told her that.
Mm-hmm.
You told her that. Her world needs to fall apart. But more importantly, her world doesn't need to fall apart. Her loved ones, if they are due to have experience of their worlds falling apart, then their worlds need to fall apart. She cannot continue to protect everyone at the expense of herself.
Mm-hmm.
It is not serving her, and it doesn't serve anyone else. She knows this, but it's a pattern. It's a pattern that she has habituated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, protecting others because no one protected her. You know, giving others information because she felt like information wasn't given to her. But all it's doing is creating more frustration. And that has to stop.
So would you give her a picture of all of those that she needs to stop protecting?
She will never, ever, ever, she will never alter the consciousness of a being that does not choose light. Mm. If a being does not choose light, then they do not choose light. That is not personal on her part. She has done a phenomenal job, better than almost anyone, if not anyone. And that's something we're going to continue to tell her, but she's going to have to know that her behavior, her love, her knowing, her knowledge, her anything, her vibration will not get a being, an unconscious being, an asleep being, a being who chooses darkness or unconsciousness to change. Mm. That's just not something she will be able to do. She can inspire people. She can show a different reality. But there's nothing about her, quote, personally, that she can do to change that.
Okay.
Today or ever.
So she has a lot of questions about her personal relationships. What would you like to tell her today about those personal relationships that she's struggling with?
She's experienced great pain. She has seen the worst expressions of humanity. She has seen pain, abuse, mm-hmm. quote, darkness, mm-hmm. darkness. That's her path. Dark and light, dark and light, dark and light, dark and light, duality, polarity, duality. Mm-hmm. She has seen that. And so, gosh. So everybody's been her teacher, and everybody has been part of her initiation. Will she choose light? Will she choose light? Will she choose darkness? Will she sell out? Will she go for what's easy? Will she go for what other people want her to do? Mm-hmm. Will she choose her children over herself? Will she choose exterior others? Will she choose her partners over herself? These have all been tests. And she thinks she's failed. She has never failed. She thinks she's failed. She shows up with her love in every situation. She always has, always has, she always will. Why she is so hard on herself is another question. She needs to work on that. More love within, more love within, more love within. She is so frightened for humanity to blow itself up again. She is so frightened to not do a good job. She is so frightened because of the ramifications and ripples that it affects on our multiverse in ways that she might not be aware, but she's aware. And so her decisions are always very calculative based on that.
Now, I know you told me that she should not go into the past, but she wants to know if she's been exposed to things like MK Ultra.
Oh, she has been. She has been exposed, and this has been part of her assignment. You know, she was going to prove that nothing was going to obliterate her mind. So she was going to be exposed to poisons, toxins, mind control, brain-altering trauma, fragmentation. She was going to be the living proof that no matter how someone was fragmented, no matter how much trauma could be inflicted on one person, that that would not be the end of her. That would not be the end of her love. So yes, she has had all these incidences of all these hellacious acts. All these hellacious acts in order to fragment her brain, in order to bring it back. Like what I'm seeing is that like her mind is constantly in a state of being a Rubik's Cube, but not a normal Rubik's Cube, an advanced Rubik's Cube. She should get a Rubik's Cube and use this as a visualization. Let's tell her that, okay?
All right.
Okay, so an advanced Rubik's Cube that's constantly being turned, and she has to bring it back into its integrous wholeness, you know, so it's constantly turning and she's constantly bringing it back. Yes, so now that's over. It's enough. She's gotten enough research. She's asked enough questions. As you can see, she's just so afraid to make a mistake. She's so afraid to make a mistake, but there are no mistakes now. She just needs to be. She needs to live. She needs to be who she truly is and what she's always been. She must be the love no matter what. It's very challenging. Her path is very, very, very challenging. It's very challenging to be this galactic human, to have... It takes a lot for us to make sure that she doesn't have these memories. It takes a lot for her to not have these memories and to go back and forth. She's in many dimensions at the same time. Her consciousness is in many dimensions. She is the Rubik's Cube. Fragmentation. She is everywhere and then nowhere and then allwhere.
So this fragmentation, is it affecting her life negatively now? Are there some pieces that need to be brought together at this time?
Yes, I believe there's something called, in your world, multitasking. And she seems to think she's a master multitasker. But...
Is she?
Well, she's a master.
So
she is, but she forgets that she's tired. She forgets that this human form that she's in, there's a lot going on right now. There's a lot.
Within herself or?
Both.
Okay.
She's on the precipice of great change. And what she needs to do is know without a shadow of a doubt, no pun intended, that's what you say, pun, no, without a shadow of a doubt, that she is whole, she is complete, and she is extraordinarily powerful. She is extraordinarily competent and capable, no matter what. In every moment of every day, that's what she needs. She needs to be. That's what needs to happen. And that's that. God.
And when she points her finger at the wounded inner child, what would you like to say?
That precious little child has been through battles and has been through the most unimaginable experiences. She reads stories of other children in the Holocaust who have suffered so greatly, yet her inner child has suffered so greatly. And she needs to not only recognize the accomplishments of those in her trajectory, but she needs to really spend time focusing on the accomplishments of her interior self, in her human self. This little child, this child that's been twisted and tortured and poisoned and just been so mixed up, whether by her, by us, by
Where is this inner child? Has it been fragmented from her?
Yeah, she's not in good shape.
All right. Can we call her back so that we can give her love today? Find out where she is. Where is she hiding with all of her pain?
I think she's hiding in the spleen, interestingly. Yeah, I feel her hiding in the spleen behind my heart.
Yes, let's find out from her why she's hiding there.
She's protecting the heart because people are hurting it.
Okay.
She's protecting and she's hiding. She's hiding behind it, yet, but she's protecting it.
So how can this wounded child protect something when she is hurting herself?
Right.
So would you like to call her in and talk to her?
Yeah. You don't have to protect anybody anymore.
Ask her what she needs.
It's like she's so fierce and she's so committed. But she doesn't realize.
What does she need to feel better?
She needs to be seen. She needs to be seen and spoken to and recognized and...
All right. So is there anything else that Carrie needs to know today in order to move forward on this very important mission?
She needs to know that she needs to claim her role in this world. She needs to claim her existence in this world. She has been operating from a plane of non-existence. She's been operating from a plane of insignificance and invisibility. And that can no longer continue. An elephant cannot pretend to be invisible when it is the largest of all beasts. An elephant makes noise through its trunk, and that's part of being its beast. Every creature must be allowed to be itself in its entirety, and it's time for her to allow herself to be in its entirety for herself and for her being, not for humanity, not for the mission, not for the greater good, just for herself.
Now, she came here with a lot of questions, which seem to have come from the ego, wanting to feel better.
Yes.
Are there any of those questions that you would like to explain now in order to move forward? Or does she need to now move forward with a totally different mindset?
She needs to move forward in a totally different mindset. We continue to tell her that the things she is concerned about are insignificant, just like tiny little gnats that cause disruption that fly into people's faces. They are insignificant in her massive significance. And the only way that that is going to change, she will just have to get used to that. Just like when she got married and she took on someone else's name. And then that was new for her. So she had a new name. And now that is the only name she knows. So these behaviors, she needs to work on being centered, whole, extremely self-important. She needs to let go of judgments. Things had to happen the way they did. They showed up the way they did. They harmed her. They harmed her family. They harmed each other. And that is why she is here. That is why many are here. And she just needs to live from that space in every moment of every day. In every moment of every day, no matter what is going on around her. No matter what other people are doing, what other people are not doing. It is insignificant. She is what is significant. She is what is significant. She has played a role just like an actor. It's like a comedian it's like an actor that plays comedy. They play comedy for years and years and years, and then the clientele who watches them thinks they're only a comedian. Well, they're not. They're an actor. And she is now needing to take on a new role. And this new role is an empowered, strong, grounded, healthy, vibrant, confident woman who is not afraid of anything, including herself. Including herself. It's time for her to be seen, to be known, to be loud, to be strong, to be significant. Significant. That's what she needs to do. She needs to practice it every day. That's what she needs to do. Whatever was before now is an old role. The same person is acting with a new role.
Beautiful. And what role does she play with all of the others who have come here to volunteer?
She is a leader. She is a leader whether she understands it or not. She is a great leader who is in charge of many and has much knowing. And with her permission, she will become more and more aware of that significance. That significance, yes.
Good. Will she be surrounded with different type of people once she starts accepting this role?
She needs to learn to trust herself again. She needs to learn to trust again.
Okay.
She needs she needs to recreate. Unfortunately, there is an expression which is coming through now again to say it's lonely at the top. It can be lonely at the top. She knows this. This isn't her world. Her world and her joy and her pleasure are with those beings of blue. And she will return to them soon. She will. She will. If she will. She will. She won't always have to live. She won't have to always live in this space of non-love, non-kindness. These are very challenging times. They will not last forever. We need to find a way to remind her, or she needs to find a way to remind this human self that it will not always be this way. There is a higher purpose. These are just very challenging times. We are guiding her. Her higher self is guiding her. Things are not clear as she would like right now. Things are not being revealed, but she must trust her, just like you shared with her, just like you were saying to her. She must trust her gut. She must trust her gut, not her mind. Trust her gut, not her mind. Must trust her heart, not her mind. Her mind is like a battlefield. Her mind is working on getting updated.
Good.
But it's a day-by-day process, a minute-by-minute process. She must try as best she can is to stay in the present moment. She must learn mindfulness. She must learn to be in the present moment, and the present moment will reveal itself to her. She must not give up. She must not give up, no matter what anything looks like. But most of all, she must not give up on herself. And she must not give up on herself.
Good, thank you. And who are the ones who assist her in this lifetime?
She works directly with Creator. She works.
Who has been advising her today?
Uriel.
Thank you, Uriel.
Melchizedek.
Melchizedek,
You know, in your plane, in this human plane, you want to have names and labels to make it easier. But for her, the energy she holds, the connections that she has are of the highest high, and many of them do not have names or understanding. Just like you asked her at the beginning when you had her put her fingers and her hands on that book, on the book,
yes.
And the book, and she couldn't understand where the letters were in the book. So much in this realm is so limited. It's so limited. But what she needs to know is if she were in the military, she would be of the highest caliber, the highest level, with the most information, the most responsibility, and also deserving of the most respect, loyalty, and honor. And not necessarily from the outside world, because the outside world is in deep resistance. She must give it to herself, because all those that love her so in realms outside of Earth, love her and see her, but she must offer that to herself. It's very, very, very challenging, but it's extremely important. It's extremely important It really is, like you all say, an inside job. It really is an inside job.
Mm-hmm. And with this knowledge moving forward, how can she help others? Because she's been a transformational coach. That seems to have not been as lucrative lately. What is the new transformation?
She needed to know who she was with nothing.
Okay.
She needed, so much of what she does isn't even for her or this human called Carrie, who we love so much, and we're not implying for any moment in time that she's anything less than. Of course not. She's such a powerful human, but this being herself, she does so much on a collective whole. So the enormity of it all is just so much bigger than her mind can comprehend. Her mind can comprehend so much of the loss, so much of the choices that she makes, so much of her interactions are based on healing a collective whole, so much outside of herself. So her individuated experiences, and let me just say, the significance of the abuse that she has encountered is surreal on every level. But she really is taking on multiple responsibilities. It's as if she's like a whole team onto herself to deal with healing the collective, changing the programming, bringing in codes, doing things that only very few can do. And she must be reminded that where she lives is extremely toxic. It's extremely thick, and the energies where she is very challenging.
Why is that?
Because the level of darkness where she is in the state of Florida, the beings there are, and what's under the earth in that area is so profound. It's easy to channel in places like Sedona or Mount Shasta or in Stonehenge or wherever, high vibrational places. It's another thing to show up the way she does in this like thick level of concentrated muck thickness. It's very challenging. Very, very challenging. And she needs to know that. She really needs to work on giving herself more credit.
Wonderful.
More credit. Yes, she really needs to be more positive towards herself.
So when she is wherever she is, where she lives, is she setting out some sort of a vibration to help clear the space?
Well, it's a problem. It's a problem because...
Did she choose that place on purpose?
She did.
What does her energy in being there do to that place?
She utilizes she knows this already. She's not far from where that president lives. That president, Mr. Trump, he lives. She knows she's there for a reason. She knows that part of that energy. She knows that the airport is being used for a reason.
Is her energy used at all to clear the space?
She's transmuting. One of the reasons she's so ill is she's transmuting. all day long through her organs. Her animals are helping her. It's been very, very, very challenging. And just the level of darkness just seems to supersede what their bodies can do. But part of the significance is that if she made herself, she gets so frustrated with her partner and others that are doing very little and taking credit for a lot. They're taking credit for things they're not even doing. And then she is playing invisible and not taking credit for anything she is doing. So part of this is that she needs to start claiming what other people are claiming. And then if she claims it, then she won't be frustrated with them claiming it. They can claim whatever they want, but her not claiming it is a detriment.
Okay.
So she has to claim. She has to claim.
When she starts claiming who she truly is, will that help her health?
Well, if a butterfly claims that it has wings and can fly, and it starts to fly, then it's going to have a better view. And probably have a more active, playful life than a caterpillar that just stays on the ground and eats leaves, correct?
That's right.
So if she starts to identify with the truth of who she is, even in the moments where she doesn't necessarily believe it, and most of the time because she's set up this path where she's not going to get the proof of who or what or where or whatever, she's not going to get the proof until she believes it is so. It's been a huge challenge for her, especially there on Earth. She must know what she knows, operates from that knowing, present that material of the knowing, whether herself or with others. And then, when she does, the proof will come. But it's not really about the proof anymore. It's about in the beingness. So she must be that. And then it'll become easier. But she can't continue to pretend her insignificance. It's just ridiculous, and it's causing great harm. We've said this before, she cannot continue to present as a mouse when she is the great elephant. It's very uncomfortable and very painful. Plus, there's very little space. There's no insignificance for a mouse to be a mouse. Mice, they're wonderful creatures. But she is the elephant and needs to act as so. And that's what she needs to do. The elephant is not far superior to the mouse. It's not an ego thing. The elephant is the elephant. The mouse is the mouse. And it's beautiful in both ways. But she will suffer if she continues to be in her insignificance, if she continues to be what she isn't, if she continues to be in what she was told she was. If she continued to be this person that her parents told her she was, she would never have amounted to anything.
Yes.
So she must be who she is. And the only person who knows who she is her. Is her. Is her. Is her.
Yes. That's good advice for everybody, isn't it?
Yes. These earthlings, there's either the earthlings that pretend that they're nothing and they're humble and undeserving. This Carrie, so I'm going to give you an example. So before she came here, she stopped. She went to this restaurant to use the facilities. And she was walking into the facility. She was walking into this place, and there was money lying on the ground. And she looked at it, and she picked it up, and she was like, oh my goodness, this is somebody's money. And she felt guilty that somebody lost their money. Instead of her, who has financial difficulties, huge financial difficulties, instead of saying, oh my goodness, here's money, and I deserve the money, and this is a win, like a lottery or a prize. She went to the fair the other day, and she won a prize, but then she felt undeserving. She cannot continue to live that way. She deserves like no other. Humans deserve like no other. It's those that she gets confused with that are taking and stealing or whatever that don't deserve. That's separate. She needs to deserve. Humans need to deserve. Light workers, that concept of light workers, beings of light, they deserve. It's okay.
Wonderful. Is there any message that you have for those light workers that are here on a mission?
They must all recognize the arduous, they must recognize the challenges that they've been faced, especially those like this dear child that's here, this dear child that has very little knowing of her beingness. Many of those that have been veiled through thought, through hearing, through knowing, but yet still are showing up better than the majority of the planet, and then they just don't have any awareness. You know, they need to be recognized. They need self-recognition. You know, there's been this talk about this self-love, all these books, self-love, workshops, talks, self-love, like it's something so huge. But self-love could be in that moment that this dear-hearted girl picked up the monies off the ground and said, wow, this is my turn. This is for me. Thank you. Instead of looking to see who lost it. Mm-hmm. You know, that's where these beings of such benevolence, of such love, you know, they don't understand this type of energy. They don't understand this type of darkness. But like has been said, if you're here in this world to play, like you act, trying to find the words, you act as if, but you act as your parties do. They must do that. They must do that. They cannot continue to let themselves get railroaded or abused or neglected or they must be as significant. They must be significant.
Good. And what do you tell Carrie and the others that feel so lonely on this path? You said before it's lonely on the top.
Yes, it is. We used to tell this dear-hearted girl, this precious dear-hearted girl, that so many of those around her were causing her harm, and she was allowing that. She was allowing so much harm and so much pain to affect her. So we had to remove her from that. And while these energies are evolving and humanity is ascending, it's better for her to be away from any, like the great shamans that were brought to the Himalayas far away. Mm-hmm. But one of the beautiful parts that I think she is missing and many others are missing is that the further away from materialism, materiality, this linear earth 3D reality, it's the opportunity to connect with themselves and with the divine and with the multiverse. Mm-hmm. And I think cancel. What we would like to say is that in their loneliest hours, in her loneliest hours, to set an intention to connect with themselves, all parts of themselves, and with Creator in its benevolence. So to not just get stuck in what's missing. You know, her friend, St. Francis, her friend, mm-hmm. her friend who, that being that loves her so, would say to her, and she knows this, what is his message? To bring in what is missing, to bring in what is missing, to be the instrument of peace. Where there is lack, bring that forward. So in that space of loneliness, mm-hmm. in that space of loneliness, they must bring that connection with themselves, like this precious little girl. That precious little girl that she felt separated from, to bring her in, to connect with yourself, to connect with all aspects of oneself. To not just get caught in this emotion of loneliness, but to set an intention to bring in that. You know, she carries a very special breath, the breath of life, but yet the shamanic breath, the breath of soul. And she uses her breath. That's why it's important for her to speak. It's so important for her to speak. She doesn't realize every word that she says, every tone that she makes is coded and has special vibrations, just like a tuning fork, or just like a song with a melody, except there is no melody in the words of that a human would hear in their mind. But when she speaks, people reconnect with themselves, reintegrate with the wholeness in themselves. That's really important, whether she understands that or not.
Yes. Good. Is there anything else that you would like to tell her at this time? Or do you feel that this session is complete for today?
She is the one that she has been waiting for. She is the one that she has been waiting for. This is the time she has been waiting for. This is the time that many have been waiting for. She is from the future coming into the past, which is now, in order to change the future. And she has done it in a way that far surpasses anything that her human mind can imagine. She has had many challenges, many obstacles. She has experienced things that no one should ever experience. And her body is tired. It needs repairs. She needs to be aware of what it has taken to get to this point and how meaningful that is, even if she doesn't understand that. And that every moment, every decision she makes is impacting billions of souls, whether she understands that or not, or whether she could humbly comprehend that. And she really has to work on this humble pie business. I think that's the human word, humble pie. I don't use that word, but anyway. So she needs to work on that. She really does. She really does. She needs to let that go. There's no time for that now.
Good. Very good.
That's what she needs to do, and that's what the others need to do, because it serves no one playing small with their frequency, their vibration, their light, and things that maybe we can't give you the details right now. She knows that power. We've explained to her that no matter where she goes, that the world is like a black and white picture, and everywhere her energy goes, it brings color.
Beautiful.
And that's it. That's it. That is powerful. There is something very powerful and magical about bringing color to a black and white image.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wide awake, completely alert, feeling wonderful all over.
Prism. Prism was that, what I was trying to tell you. Prism.
A prism.
That's right. Bringing light and color. Light and color.
It's beautiful.
To the world. Like a prism brings light.
Yeah. Wow. What a session.
Thank you.
How long do you think this was?
I have no idea.
Give it a shot.
I have no idea. I was so busy battling these voices in my head saying, you're making this up. Mm-hmm. You're not even making sense. What are you doing? I mean, just like the ego. Like,
you did really well.
Okay. Yeah, I just was trying.
So we are on an hour and 59 minutes.
Oh, God. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry.
You did wonderful. You did fantastic.
Did it make sense?
Oh, yes.
It did?
Do you remember?
I think I said that the last time.
Do you remember it?
I was just having war games with, like, first, if this was like a big ego thing, because
you said a lot of stuff.
Ugh.
Powerful stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm really glad, because I was trying really hard to say, I don't give a shit who's talking. I don't give a shit if it makes sense. I don't care who it is. It doesn't matter. Like it's like, stop it. Like, that's how I felt. Like,
you did great.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So you want to share this? Taking out some personal stuff?
Well,
taking out some personal stuff?
Yeah, my ego says no, but my pep talk with you says yes. Like, I don't want to, and my whole body is like, holy shit, no. But the part of you that says I have to do it is...
It's time to fly.
It's time. I just got to do it, no matter what.
Mm-hmm. I mean, this is what it's all about.
Okay.
You did fantastic. Let's take this off.
All right. Well, we have Carrie here having done a wonderful session. How was it?
It's amazing that whatever was speaking through me had a lot to say, and I hypervigilantly spend most of my life just making sure that I'm controlling everything I say, and that everything I say has meaning, and so it was a bit of a challenge.
Now, this is your second session with me, which, you know, whoever was speaking through you said, you know, you found money and you didn't appreciate it, but I think you recognize the fact that you got this session and it was special.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I told you that? Yeah, there's just, it's like crazy. Like, it's like I'm begging for support. I'm begging for healing. I'm begging for the universe to, like, you know, have divine intervention. And then there's like money on the ground. And I'm like, oh my God, who lost it? I need to find them in order to give it back.
Instead of saying, wow, thank you for that gift.
Yeah, so I recognize that's still part of my work, and it's so innate inside of me.
But you did recognize. Carrie has had, this is her second session within like a year.
Yeah, and so
the first one, what was the first session like? That one did not get on YouTube.
No, it didn't, because it was extremely dark. And I'm also, up until now, been struggling with sharing my story and my truths, which I, as of today, will be doing it differently. But the session, I mean, you were amazing, and you really commanded so much of it. Well, I guess we did it together. I'll give myself a little credit.
I didn't say much.
But I mean, it was like as if like my mouth was wired shut. All I heard was voices screaming, "You're lying! You're lying!"
Is this first time or the second time?
The first time.
The first time, yeah.
Yeah, and just like that, I was like short-circuiting. It was like as if my soul came in here. I was going to stay hidden. You know, I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to be totally undercover to the point where I totally forgot, which many of us are. And so I was really like physiologically like seizuring when I was speaking my truth. So this time the war was less, I guess, physical, but it was more in my head of like, what are you doing? Nothing you're saying is making sense. Like
it's the ego.
Yeah, the ego is,
and the ego is very powerful. And today you saw that you were able to keep them because it seems to be a lot of voices in there, right?
Yes. There's a lot of voices, a lot.
And this is all of the programming that we receive, you know, as youngsters, and you've been through a lot.
I've been through
a lot of programming, so there's a lot of voices in there telling you, be quiet.
Yeah, be quiet. And it's ironic because I have a partner who I say all the time, I mean, he literally does not stop talking. And I said, when you pass on, you're still going to be talking. And so here I was like talking, and we're meant to talk. We're meant to share, especially those of us that are here to remind others.
It was really good. And when you started this session, do you remember that Amethyst cave or whatever it was? Do you remember that? Or was that too far?
Well, my ego is definitely playing games with me, but I have seen this kind of woman before in a crystal cave, long blonde hair, with animals running around. And even though my ego and my mind was like, oh, no, you've seen that before. But it was this feeling in my heart of...
You said home.
Yeah, home. And then I was like second guessing. That's right. But then it was like, this is so beautiful. Like, oh my God, so beautiful.
Yeah, and the Akashic Records, the library.
Yeah, that I still have to work on, the unworthiness, because a few times when I was trained to read the records, my records looked like some magnificent museum like in France with these unbelievable books, and it was so ornate. And then I kept being told they're my stories, and I was like, no way, I'm a single mom from Long Island, like no way that those are my books. But here we go again. I saw it in its entirety, and it was magnificent. So I must be the one who's mistaken. So
do you recommend this experience to people?
I totally recommend the experience. I recommend you. I mean, this energy about you is just so soothing and healing. And I say that not from my head, but from my heart, because it's not easy for me to say that. But I am so blessed. I was blessed the first time. I'm blessed now even more so, and just thank you. Thank you for all you do for everybody.
Well, thank you for sharing this, because a lot of people were going to get their own message through you.
This is a big deal for sharing. I have literally PTSD having my picture taken, so to put a video on YouTube with my information and me sleeping and God knows what else I was doing is a big deal. So
you weren't sleeping.
Well, no, and being in hypnosis, or I don't even know. But this is a big sleep. This is a big deal. And if there's anybody else out there that struggles like me, then
well, I would like to invite you to give Carrie a comment under this video so that you can tell her how much you appreciate that.
Thank you.
She's going to be reading your comments. So if you would like a session with me, just sign up for my newsletter, and it comes up about once a month. I do target different areas, so make sure your address is in there. And if you can't come to a session, come to one of my events. The events are great. You get to channel that higher self of yours. You get to do past life regressions in a group, and you get to meet other people just like you. So when we get together, we shine as one. It's a very powerful experience. Thank you for watching. Until the next one.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.